Hello friends, welcome to our channel Explain Things Around and our course Learn C Programming A to Z. So today we'll continue more on decision control statements, and in our last session we learned about if else, we learned about relational and logical expressions. So we'll continue more on that and we'll try to create some programs to understand the concepts deeper. So before we continue, if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please click on subscribe button. So let's get into programming. We'll try to write a program to find the bigger number out of 2. So we'll get input from user. User will input two numbers and we'll return him which one is the greatest number out of those two. So let's save it as let's say bigger number, and let's save it as C source file. So we'll start with hash include studio.h, then void main. Now we need two input two numbers input from user, so let's define two variables. Let's say number 1 and number 2. So as you can see here, one more thing, multiple variables can be declared in the single line. You don't need to write two times integer number 1 and integer number 2. It can be written at the same point. Now let's give instructions to user. Printf, please enter. Let's get number 1 and number 2 at the same time. Please enter number 1 and number 2, and we'll say scanf. Even the both values, to get the both values we can define that in the single line here, like percent, as we can see percentage, and let's say here number 1 and percent number 1 comma and percent number 2. So from these two line user will see on the screen, please enter number 1 number 2, and he will be prompted two times to enter these values. Now we need to tell which one is the greatest number. So let's see, if number 1 is greater than number 2, we'll write printf percentage d. So in this case number 1 should is the bigger number, so number is the bigger number, so we'll print here number 1. So we'll say we'll map number 1 there. Else else number 2 should be the bigger number, right? Else printf, we say percentage d is the bigger num is the bigger number, and we map here number 2. So if number 1 is greater than number 2, first number is the bigger number, otherwise second number is the bigger number. So let's save it. We'll compile it. You can see some error came. Okay, you see here there's space between number and 2. There's no variable saying that, so because of that it came. Let's compile again. There's no error, so let's run it now. So we should be seeing on screen, it should write please enter number 1 and number 2, and after that we should get two times prompt. Yeah, so this is our first prompt for number 1. Let's say 20. Click enter. Again we are getting prompt that is for number 2. Let's enter 15. It said 20 is the bigger number, so we got the correct number. So the same program can be written with the help of conditional operator, that is question mark and colon. This is your conditional operator. So let's comment this part and let's see how we can implement the same with the help of conditional operator. So I have commented this part as I have explained earlier. we can use backslash star and star backslash to comment multiple lines at the same time. So I'll define one variable int saying bigger number, and this bigger number will be equal to, so how do we write? We put the expression here, whatever we are writing in if, after if, same condition can be written here, number 1 greater than number 2, then question mark. If this condition gets satisfied, we need to assign number 1, so that will come here, else part that should go after question mark, and that will come here, number 2. So how will this work? It will evaluate this expression number 1 greater than number 2, and if this condition gets satisfied, whatever we have here that will get executed, else this part will get, and if this condition doesn't get satisfied, whatever expression we have given after colon that will get satisfied. So this is same way whatever we had written here, and now we can print the bigger number. We can directly write here percentage d is the bigger number. Here we can map bigger number. So you can see here all these 4 line of code is written in just 2 line. So this is kind of shortcut we get by using conditional operator. So let's compile it again. Let's run it. I'll enter 15 first number. Let me enter 20 second number. 20 is the bigger number. You get the same output. So it is working as expected. So here by using conditional operator we can use the shorthand here. But one drawback here is you can give only single expression here, single comparison here. You cannot give multiple if statement in the single by using single conditional operator. So that is the reason most of the time we are not able to utilize this, because complex problems cannot be written using this. It doesn't support that much. If we have number of if conditions to write, it will be very difficult to implement that using conditional operator, but it's good to learn it. This is a shorthand and this is how it works. So let's create one more program to understand better, to understand more about if else and its variations. So let me create a new program, and in this program what we'll try to achieve, we'll take two inputs again from user, and we'll try to give if those numbers are equal to, if the first number is greater than second number, or if the first number is greater than second number, or first number is equal to second number, or first number is less than second number. So we'll be giving these three output. So we can say save this as a number comparator. So let's save it as number comparator, and let's save it as type C. Hash, we'll start with hash include studio. So I believe by now you guys should have been comfortable in writing C program and basic if else conditions. If you have any question, if you are getting any doubt, feel free to put that in comment box. I'll definitely respond. So we'll have two variables. Let's say number 1, let's say first number and second number. First number and second number. So we have two variable here. Let's prompt user to input print printf. So as I said, right, C is case sensitive, so if you write if it anything in capital, that is not same as whatever is written is small, so be careful with that. So let's say please enter first and second number. Please enter first and second number. We'll scanf 2 times percentage t to store these values, one is for the first number. Let me copy paste this. We are getting typing mistake, the related error on compilation, so we'll avoid if we copy paste this. And first number and second number, you don't forget to use ampersand before this. Close this and semicolon. So let's compare it now. So first number if first number is greater than second number, if first number is greater than second number, you will printf first number is greater than second number. First number is greater than second number, right? Your next if condition will be if, let me copy this line. So so next you can validate if first number is equal to second number. So you can say first number is equal to second number, and your third condition will be if first number is less than. So this time you can print less than. So here we are comparing three numbers, and we'll see how can we use different ways to perform the same activity. So in this case we are doing all the validation by using different if conditions. Let's run now, compile it and we'll run. So as I said earlier, by default it will compiler will go line by line. So first it did the type declaration, then it printed please enter first and second number, then it goes for percentage it prompt for user so that he can enter these two values. So let me enter say 15 and 20, and you can see here it says first number is less than second number. Okay, so but one thing to understand here is, since we output is coming fine, but one thing to understand here is, even though this last line got printed, but compiler would have executed all these cases, all these expressions. It would have it evaluates first this condition, it didn't get satisfied, again it evaluated this condition, it didn't get satisfied, finally it evaluates this. So three time it does the validation. Three time it's check for the expression, and it tries to find which one is satisfying and to which statement to execute. And finally it sees 15 is less than 20, this condition gets satisfied, so it means first number is less than second number. Okay, one more thing to notice here is, never use semicolon after this if statement, because otherwise next statement will not be related to if statement, that will be an independent statement. Just to note here, next line whatever we write after if statement, that gets attached to the with the condition whatever we have written after if. So if this condition gets satisfied, for example here, if this condition gets satisfied, then this statement will get executed. If you use semicolon here, then it means if this condition gets satisfied, it will go to this, will be your next line, it will not print up, this won't be your next line. So if you want to test it, let's run it now. I'm using semicolon here and I am compiling it again, and we'll see in the output how it works. That will make it more clear for you, and you'll understand how C compiler is working on backend. So I'm entering again 15, let's enter 10 here. So this time your first number is greater than second number, so no, this will not be a better example. Let me enter 50. So you should be getting output first number is less than second number. But what can you expect here? So you can see here, you are seeing first number is greater than second number. This is coming because of this line. Even though this condition did get satisfied, this line is coming because now this is an independent line. This is not attached with any if condition. So that is getting printed, and after that this if condition is getting satisfied. Because of that, this line is getting printed. So you can see here two output came. First time it is writing first number is greater than second line, and it is writing first number is less than second number. First number is greater than second number, and first number is less than second number. Because of this because of this syntax error we have, because of this logical mistake we had done. This is not syntax error, it will not come in your compile during your compilation, because this is a logical mistake you have done. For C there is no wrong in this code, but for you, for to achieve the goal, this is the mistake. You should have not written in this way. So never use this semicolon here. Let me close this. One more thing to know here is, whenever you need to write multiple lines after your if condition, if you need to perform if you need to perform setup operation after if condition, more than one line, put those in braces. Put those in uh, these braces. Don't forget to use that. Otherwise, only first statement will get attached to the if statement, and whatever you have written next to that, that will get executed every time, because that is not attached to the previous if statement. So let me show you that also in example. So for example, if first number is greater than second number, you want to print first number is greater than second number, and let's write again here in different way. Let's say second number is less than first number. So what we are doing here, we are writing once in from the point of view of first number, then we are writing from the perspective of second number. So first number is greater than second number is less than first number. So let me write this here also for the this scenario, third scenario, and here I will write second number is greater than first number. So you can see, so here I have put parenthesis, here I have not used parenthesis. Okay, so let me compile it, let me run. So this time I am entering first number 100, and let me say second number 40. So your first condition got satisfied here, first number greater than second number. So you see first number is greater than second number got printed. Again second number is less than first number got printed. And here you can see second number is greater than first number. This came because of this line, because this line didn't get attached to this if condition. Only the first line is attached to this with this if condition. So whenever you have multiple lines after if condition and you want all those to get performed, to get executed, only the if conditions get satisfied, don't forget to put those in braces. Okay, so I think that point is clear here. Now let's remove all these and let's see how we can write the same program using if else. So this number comparator, this time we have written using number of if condition. Now let's try to use use if else condition. So we see here, if number one is number first number is greater than second number, we had printed first number is greater than second number. Now rather than if, let's write else here. Else again, as you know, we have two more condition here, so we'll write if this condition is, and else. And since I said if we need to attach all these lines, so these all if and else needs to get executed under this else part, so don't forget to use parenthesis. So how this will work now, it will look for this expression first. If this gets satisfied, it will execute this line, If this line gets failed, it will go to else part. Under else, again, since we have two different conditions, we need to look for equal to, we need to look for less than also. So we have put all these two under the else part. So let's save it. Let's compile it. You see some error came here. So let's look here what it is saying. Expected semicolon before print f. So somewhere we are missing something. So this brace we have closed here. Okay, this is fine. Else, okay, so here you are writing this condition. After else, one thing. So this was a good mistake I did here, so that you can understand. This was a good point. So there was this condition written after else part. So always remember, else is the last condition in your if else structure. You don't need to write expression after else. So you don't need to write this expression here. So this how this will go. If this number is greater than, so it will come here else part. So you have two cases only. It can be either equal to or it can be less than. So equal to you are validating here. Else then you don't need to validate, that is understood part. So after else you are never supposed to give the expression. So let's save it. Let's run now. Let's compile first. So you see no error, no warning. Now let's run it. So try to write these programs by yourself also, because the more you write it, more you will learn. The concepts will get more clear. So I'm entering first number as 100, second number as 20. So you get the same output. First number is greater than second number. Now let's run for some different scenarios. Now let me run it again. This time I'll enter 50, first number, second number also. Let me enter second number 20. Let me enter something bigger than. So this will be 90. So you can see here first number is less than second number. It got printed because of this line. So since this condition didn't get satisfied, it went to else part. Again, this condition didn't get satisfied, so it went to else part of this statement. So you can understand here how this parenthesis got implemented to for this scenario. Now let's try to write the same program in different way. So we have learned about else if clause. So what we can do here, we don't need to use this parenthesis here, and let's move this if next to else. So you can see here now our statement will look like this. You see here, so all are on same level. First it will look for this condition. If this condition gets satisfied, then fine. Else it will go else if next to this. Else it will look for this, and if that also don't get satisfied, it will go to the third condition. Let us compile it again. Okay, you get an error because okay, we didn't remove this parenthesis. So let me remove this. Compile, run it again. Now please let's enter value here. First number as 100. Let me enter second number as 200. You can see here, right? First number is less than second number. We got that in output. So because if this didn't get satisfied, then else this also didn't get satisfied, and finally this else. So this got satisfied, and we got the correct output. So these all are the variations which we can use to implement decision control statements, decision control related scenarios. So we learned about how to use conditional operator. We learned how to write conditions using if keyword, using else if clause, using else keyword, all these, and in different ways also we learned to achieve the same goal. So let's learn how we can use logical operator also. So since here we compared only two numbers, so let's try to create a case. Let's try to write a program where we'll be comparing three numbers and we'll try to find which one is the bigger. So let me create a new file, hash include hash include studio dot h void main. So also one thing you can notice here, wherever we have function, it follows this small parenthesis. So that is how also you can identify if whatever you have written that is function or some other thing. So in this time we'll try to find greatest number out of three numbers. So let's say n1, n2 and n3, these are your three number variables. Let's prompt user to enter these variables values. So let's say please enter three numbers. So now let's give prompt to user. So scanf, we'll say percentage d, three times we have three numbers, right? So let's say percent and ampersand n1 comma ampersand n2 comma ampersand n3. So we'll get three numbers and we need to find which one is the greatest out of these three. So how we can do, if n1 is greater than n2 and n1 is greater than n3. So what I mean to say here, if n1 is greater than n2 also, and if that is greater than n3 also, then n1 will be your greater number, so greatest number. So printf, in this case printf, you can say percentage d is the, so you can say here first number is the, so three numbers we entered, right? So first one is the greatest. So this is how we can use the logical operator. Else, so if that condition did get satisfied, so we'll compare this next number 2. So we'll look for number 2 this time. If n2 is greater than n1 and n2 is greater than n3 also, so this time second number will be greater. So if this condition gets satisfied, that means second one is the greatest. And our third case is final case, else. And see here, so we have given condition here, so it won't be else, it will be else if clause, so remember. And third is final, if those two conditions did get satisfied, that means third one is the, so this time you don't need to give the expression, that is understood, that is mutually exclusive. So third one is the greatest. Let's save it, save this one, save as uh, greatest of 3. Let's save it as greatest of 3. Save it as C source file. Let's compile it. No error, no warning. Let's run now. So here we learned use of AND operator. So so we'll be getting true this expression. These expressions will return true only if both conditions get satisfied. Opposite to this, we have OR operation. So where if any of these expression get satisfied, it will return true. So here you see the prompt. Please enter three numbers. Let's enter 20, 30, 40. Third one is the greatest. You can see here. Let's run it again. Let's run it for different scenarios. Let's run this time 10, 4, and let's say here 8. You should see first one is the greatest. It is working fine. Let's see one more scenario for the second one. Let's run here. Let's say 10, 20, 15. Second one is the greatest. So all this, it is working for all the cases and all the conditions are getting satisfied as per the expressions we have written. So I hope you find these programs useful, and these were this will help you to understand use of these logical operators, use of how to write decision control statements, and I hope you get clear picture of how to implement these kind of scenarios with the help of if, else if, and logical operators, and how to use these logical and relational operators in the real scenario. So thanks for watching our videos, and if you like it, so don't forget to subscribe our channel, and in case of any question, feel free to put that in comment box. Thank you. Thanks for watching.